across the South Coast, live from Solent University. You're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon, it's 1 o'clock. I'm Lloyd Stevens and these are your Solent Sports News headlines. Breaking news. Norwich City have sacked manager Johannes Hofthorpe. Ex-Arsenal and England midfielder Jack Wilshere has replaced him as interim head coach. Norwich City correspondent Ethan Cook is with us with more details.
Thank you, Lloyd. Yes, I mean, this come as a bit of a shock, kind of out of nowhere, that Hofthorpe has been sacked. But after 6 losses in his last 8 games, he's taken Norwich from seemingly playoff contenders to being below mid-table. It's been a pretty abhorrent end to the season. And Jack Wilshere, taking over for the last 2 games, has something to prove. Obviously, his first role as a manager in the league system. He was a coach for Norwich, and hopefully he does well.
Thank you, Ethan. In the Premier League tonight, Manchester City face Aston Villa in a massive game for the Champions League spot. Pep Guardiola has called this evening's game a final for his side. Guardiola is calling on his team supporters to come out and give his players the extra push they need.
People want the Champions League next season again, and hopefully can help us for the minute one. Don't wait. Sometimes we are sloppy, sometimes we're not playing good. It's that now we need them. We need them desperately, to support us, to make noise and be in there all the time.
With Tottenham Hotspur slipping to 16th after a loss to Nottingham Forest, will boss Ange Postecoglou get the sack? On 37 points with 5 games left, this could possibly be Spurs' worst season ever. In 1998, they only got 44 points. Postecoglou was asked after the match if he had a message for his frustrated fans.
I don't need to say anything to the fans. The fans are disappointed. They're probably angry as we are as well. It's too many losses. I know that. From our perspective, it's something we need to accept responsibility that we've fallen short of the standards we need to have.
Scott Parker's Burnley secured promotion to the Premier League last night with 2 games to spare after beating Sheffield United 2-1. They will be joined by Leeds United after their 6-0 win over Stoke City. The Burnley boss says winning the 2nd division in England feels different to the other times that he has done it.
This was a football club I walked into, and from the minute I walked in, there was a warmth, there was a love, there was a support. Gave me energy, really. Sometimes as a coach that you're on your own, it's a bit of a lonely place, really. I've always felt the support, the real love of the group.
More cricket. Wisden have come out with their 5 cricketers of the year. We have Huzaifa Yousafzai to tell us more.
Thank you very much, Lloyd. That is correct. Wisden have come out with their 5 Wisden Players of the Year for 2025. They are as follows. Firstly, trio of players from Surrey in Gus Atkinson, Jamie Smith and Dan Worrell. Women's cricketer Sophie Eccleston. And most significantly, Liam Dawson, who is the first Hampshire player since Kevin Peterson almost 2 decades ago to make it into the Wisden's top 5. Liam Dawson will once again be crucial for Hampshire this season as they look to go one better from their 2nd place finish last year and win the county championship outright, which will be their first championship win in more than 50 years. If they manage to do that, they'll end Surrey's 3-year winning streak and stronghold over the competition.
Thank you, Huzaifa. On to some snooker now. Ronnie O'Sullivan is returning in just over 2 hours after 3 months away from competitive action. 7-time champion O'Sullivan will appear at the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield for the 33rd consecutive year. The 49-year-old hasn't played a competitive match since January, where he snapped his queue at the Championship League. Snooker correspondent Cameron Jarvis is at the Crucible with the news.
Yes, thank you, Lloyd. I'm here in a very sunny Sheffield as the Sheffield crowd get ready to see the return of one of the all-time greats. He's taken 3 months away from the sport, like you said, to focus on his mental health. He hasn't played since the Championship League, so it's going to be interesting how Ronnie plays. He's only had a month's worth of practice, but like I said, the Sheffield crowd, Lloyd, they're going to be really up for it to see the GOAT play. He's playing, though, a close rival than his in Ali Carter. The last time they met in the World Snooker Championships was back in 2018, where Carter came out on top 13 frames to 9, and it was that famous brush on the shoulders between the two. But this Crucible crowd will get to see Ronnie play every time, and that's the best thing about today, though. I'm going to get a play over an hour's time.
Thank you, Cameron. That's all from us this hour. I'll be back at 2. Remember, you can keep up to date 24 hours a day on our website, solentsportsnews.com.
Bye then, lads.
Cheers, Cam.
I did